JAK in the Box.
Yo, yo! Welcome to another edition of JAK in the Box. I'm Jack. This is DB. This is where we go through these old storage boxes of vintage action figures. These boxes have been in storage for the past 20, 25 years. I don't know exactly what's inside of these boxes. We're going to open it up now, show it to DB for the first time. You get to follow along as well. What's in the box? Oh my! Echo Base, I have found them. I repeat, I have found them.
There's a lot in this
We've been
box.
looking for this for a while. It's
Wow.
G.I. Joe.
Wow.
Yo, Joe!
Wow, look at all
there's
these
a
action
lot.
figures. Look at this.
Dang.
We have found the G.I. Joe box.
Holy moly, there's a lot.
Amazing. Okay, so there's no way we're going to go through all of these right now.
Wow.
I say we just pick one bag, maybe whatever the earliest bag is. It looks like this one here. Go through this bag.
Okay.
We'll go through these separate episodes. You're going to have to
Put 'em
tune
back
in.
in the let's
Go back in the box. Yes,
All
we're
right.
going back in the box now.
What's in the bag?
Action figure out. It's another bag, all right, but we have file cards, we have everything.
Wow.
Here's the file card for this
Very
guy. I'm
organized.
going to pop this over to DB. Do you recognize this guy?
Well, for me, I'm not as familiar with G.I. Joe, and I played with them as a kid, but I don't even know which ones I had or, you know, how many I played with, but I just know there's a ton of G.I. Joes that were made, and we're going to go through them all. This guy here is Machine Gunner, and his code name is Rock and Roll.
That's rock and roll right there.
Right
Absolutely.
here, like, you can check him out. Super cool.
How are you doing, rock and roll? Okay, I guess. I feel like I just took a tidal wave without my surfboard.
Now this rock and roll, this is all the way from 1982, kind of the very first series, and you can see his arms here. This is what's called like a straight arm.
Straight arm.
Rock and roll. The very first wave in 1982, they didn't have a swivel arm. This is
Okay.
only a straight arm.
Gotcha.
But you can see his helmet
The
that we
legs
have
move
here.
and the knees bend.
And then, you know, he's the machine gunner, rock and roll.
Right.
Look at this huge machine
That's
gun
awesome.
he has with that bipod
yeah,
right
that's
there.
huge. That is a really crazy, really neat action figure.
The cool thing about rock and roll is we have his file card. Can
Yeah.
you say where he is from? Does it say
Well,
there?
it's
on there?
from Malibu, California.
Malibu,
right
California.
Here, like 20 minutes from where we're at right now.
Everywhere in LA takes 20 minutes.
That is so funny. Malibu,
awesome.
California, first out of the bag
Mhm.
right there.
So cowboy right here.
I'm going to get the next out
Awesome.
of the bag. This is the next one over here. I'm going to pop this one over to DB. All right, interesting. This is another one of those straight arm guys.
Okay.
And this guy, he doesn't come with any accessories. He
Oh,
did come
no.
with a helmet. But that's because this
Okay.
guy's name is Clutch.
Clutch to Joe headquarters! Come in, headquarters! Come in!
Oh,
And
this
he's
is
actually
Clutch.
one of the vehicle drivers.
Okay.
He drove what's called the Vamp.
What is the Vamp?
The Vamp was actually like this Jeep-like vehicle.
Okay.
It actually stood for multi-purpose attack vehicle.
Uh-huh.
And so they kind of did it backwards where like the VA was first and then the MP. So multi-purpose attack vehicle,
Oh, and then
VA,
backwards,
MP.
like switch it
Yeah,
around.
exactly.
Okay, that
Right.
makes sense.
Very interesting. I don't have
That's
a
cool.
file card on Clutch here, but
man.
I do remember that he is the Vamp driver.
The Vamp driver. That's
Yes.
super cool. You had planes, you had jets, you had, you know, at one point that huge aircraft carrier thing.
The USS Flag,
I mean, that's
absolutely. Yes, over
mean, that
6,
thing
7
is-
feet long.
That was nuts. Like, I can't believe I saw that once. I was like, wow, this is crazy.
That's G.I. Joe.
Amazing. Yeah.
You know, it would be interesting to find out where Clutch is from. We don't have the file card for him.
Okay.
Why don't we take a quick break? Let's find out where Clutch is from.
We're gonna
Put you on hold for just a moment.
All right.
Find out where Clutch is from.
We'll be back.
And knowing is half the battle.
We looked up Clutch. His name is Lance Steinberg, and he's from Asbury Park, New Jersey.
Sounds like
I think
a
I'm
Jewish
saying that
guy,
right.
actually.
Yeah, right, definitely.
Lance
Steinberg from New
That's
Jersey.
funny. Very cool.
He got in the Army, and I guess now drives a Vamp, the multi-purpose attack.
A New Jersey
vehicle.
guy. I think Asbury Park is that's just south of Newark, New Jersey, so
Oh, right.
kind of close to New York City.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I was pretty close to there before. I've
Yeah.
been there one time.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Asbury Park, nice to have a little shout out. Clutch. That's your G.I. Joe
Malibu,
pick.
Asbury Park. I wonder who we have next. Yeah.
Next out of the bag, I'm going to go with this guy. This was one of the enemy action figures where there wasn't too many of these that came out in 1982. But yeah, that's absolutely right. That's cool. Cobra, quote unquote, the enemy.
I like that. That's super cool. Check out Cobra right here. Came up with a really awesome enemy. I mean, I gotta say, like, the Cobra logo is super cool.
This guy actually has a logo.
Right
yeah,
there.
It's kind of starting to fade a little bit.
Yeah,
you know, it's 1982. Is this another one of those straight arm action figures as well?
So yeah, because it doesn't twist.
Wow,
it just looks like this.
No swivel arm on this guy.
No
so again,
arm.
first series, first version, 1982.
Yeah, it says it right there on the
Cobra,
back.
the enemy action figure.
HASBRO.
Really just one of the nameless legions of Cobras. I know people would buy multiple of these and they kind of like army build. I only have one from my childhood. Really awesome
Just
to be able
one.
to see him again. And he came with this rifle and also a bazooka as well.
Yeah.
So he came with these
It's
two
like sort of like a
accessories.
sniper rifle and a bazooka.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
Right. Really cool action figure.
Super cool.
All right, so next in the bag, I'm going to pull out this guy here. Unfortunately, it looks like this guy doesn't have a file card either. But let me take a look at him. There was a couple guys that they kind of looked similar to one another. All right, so this is not the vehicle driver. This is one of the action figures that came out on the actual card back. His name was Flash. He's one of these like a laser rifle trooper. That's why he's all dressed up like that. He uses lasers as part of his weaponry.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I was like, it looked like a jetpack or something on his back for a second there.
Right. No, that's actually just going to be like a laser pack on his back.
Cool. And this like probably plugs into the back here somewhere.
Plugs in,
or whatever.
exactly. Now, G.I. Joe, they were famous to kind of have like these different weapons that plugged in to different things.
Oh, okay.
And they eventually came out with these like plastic hoses, but you can see back in 1982, the best you got was just like this part of the mold, part of the plastic, you know, not like a tube hose.
Probably really fragile.
Very, very fragile.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Very
It's
cool
crazy
that we still have that
like
together.
intact for sure. Yeah.
The other cool thing with Flash was he had a helmet, and on his helmet he had this clear visor, and you can see the clear visor is still there as well.
Wow.
That's very awesome.
Really cool.
Yes. You know, the visors were something that I think kids lost almost right away when they took it out of the package. It was almost something that is, depending on what age you were, it didn't really like matter to have the visor or not. Interestingly enough, when I started collecting G.I. Joe, I was a little bit older. I was around 12 years old when I started collecting.
Didn't play with them as much?
Didn't play with them. I just kind of posed them. Again, I don't have the file card for Flash. Can we put you on hold again for just a brief second? Find out exactly who Flash, our laser rifle trooper, is?
G.I. Joe will return after these messages.
All right. Sorry to keep you on hold again. We looked up Flash, this laser rifle trooper guy, and his real name is Anthony Gambello, and he's from Lodi, California, which is like a really tiny place in California, like just south of like Sacramento. I've never been there.
So kind of more north central California.
Yeah, it's like central Cal, like almost probably smack dab in the middle.
It's funny, his name is Tony Gambello, you know, it's like, hey, Tony, over here, you know, and here he is in G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
Really cool Flash right there.
Yeah, super cool.
Awesome to have him. Now, there was another action figure that also came out in 1982 that was a vehicle driver, and he actually looks a lot like Flash, but he was a little different than Flash. His name was Grand Slam. Here's Grand Slam coming right out of the bag.
They are really close. I mean, almost exactly the same outfit for sure, except for the gloves are black on Grand Slam, and on Flash they're like a brown color. Same with the boots and stuff too.
And the face is a little different also if you look closely at the face.
The face for sure is different.
Right.
But exact mold looks like that Flash is a little bit more it's got a little bit more male pattern baldness going on. Got a little bit of a receding hairline like yours truly here.
Well, again, it's this helmet that he would put on and off, and that kind of rubs the hair away a little bit. But he also had a helmet with that clear visor as well. And there
they're like, we're going to make the same mold. We're just going to change a couple elements of this.
Well, you know, interesting enough, they were both laser troopers.
Oh, so that's why. So
Flash,
must have been a laser.
Right. It's kind of like they were like in the laser
uniform.
The laser uniform or the laser troops. Or Flash, while he was more of like an infantry type person, Grand Slam actually was a gunner on something called the HAL. And the HAL was stood for the Heavy Artillery Laser.
Oh, wow.
And it was basically that. It was basically an artillery gun with like a little seat on the side. Grand Slam would sit in the seat and control that turret gun, but I guess it actually shot a laser as opposed to like live rounds and that type of thing.
Oh, wow.
Very cool.
Yeah, this is super cool. So this guy's real name is James J. Barney.
Okay.
Birthplace was Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin.
Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. Getting a shout out on JAK in the Box. How awesome is that?
Falls, and we got it right here. This is super cool. Yeah, I love these like file cards. They're really super neat. That's awesome. I really like this guy too. I mean, definitely cool. I like the laser. The laser troopers definitely have a
the laser
cool
troopers
uniform there.
Right.
That's really awesome.
After the
helmets and
battle
the
or whatever,
visor.
the laser troopers are always hanging out together. Go get the
beer.
drink or something.
Yeah.
Exactly. Right. You can always see those laser troopers. All right. Next out of the bag, and this actually is last out of the bag, I'm going to pop this guy over to DB.
I know what this
There
one
weren't
is.
many Cobra action figures that came out in 1982, but here's one of them.
The quintessential.
They call this one
Cobra Commander!
Wow!
You always like wine and stuff. But super cool. Like, look at this guy. I mean, you got the visor face. You can't see his face, and he's got the gun on the back there. I mean, super, super cool. The Cobra logos.
The Cobra logo on this one, I mean, look at it.
It's
pop
really
right there.
popping out of there.
Yes.
I mean,
this one is
super
in
cool
really
stripes on
great
the side.
condition. I mean, like just looking at it, the
like
stripes,
barely
the
any chips
visor.
on the visor. It's
Really amazing.
Yeah.
The other really cool thing is he had this little blaster here that you can see, but there was actually where his backpack would go. He didn't come with a backpack. His blaster would actually fit right into like the little backpack area.
Oh,
there.
really?
You can see it represented there on the back. This was one of those accessory pack ones. This is more like
so
a blue one.
this actually comes
That's
off.
the original one. Yes.
Oh, wow,
exactly.
I didn't
that does
realize
come
that.
off. The original black blaster is Cobra Commander's.
That's cool.
This was an accessory pack one, but yeah, it's you can see it just kind of hanging right there.
Yeah, wow, that's super cool. I didn't even know that came out. I thought it was just part of the mold, but that's really, I see it now that there's like a space for it to take it off and
Correct.
put it back on. That's really neat.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's Cobra Commander. The other interesting thing about Cobra Commander is this is a swivel arm Cobra Commander. This has
I see the difference
articulation there.
This is super cool. Yeah, his card is here, but you don't get much information. His birthplace is classified. His file name is classified. You don't know who this guy is. He's just the enemy leader, Cobra Commander, and his primary military specialty is intelligence.
Wow.
And secondary ordnance.
Well, that's the first bag of G.I. Joe action figures that we've come out with. You saw earlier, we've got this entire box filled with G.I. Joe. We're going to cut this video off now so it doesn't turn into like an hour-long episode. We'll continue in the next episode with the next G.I. Joe bag, so tune in for that. I do want to give a quick shout out. We love giving shout outs here. In fact, DB got a shout out recently on the Book of Boba Fett. So thank you, John and Dave, for giving us a shout out.
Gonk droid they use to power the ship is marked with Orabesh letters DB, I assume for dim balls.
But this time I want to give a shout out to a guy named Jimmy Chan. He's an administrator on a Facebook page called the G.I. Joe Corner. As long as we're talking about G.I. Joe action figures, I'll encourage you to check out Jimmy's Facebook page. Tons of people sharing and discussing G.I. Joe, pictures of their collections, even a bunch of photos where the group members will pose their figures in different environments and take these really professional style photos. It's so much fun to go through. I'll put a link in the description to G.I. Joe Corner. No buying and selling on this page, only G.I. Joe and fun.
All right, awesome.
Very cool. Again, I just want to thank you for tuning in. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button, like,
comment, tell us which one your best of the box is.
Tell us
probably Cobra Commander, but
Cobra Commander would be my best of the
yeah,
box.
it's I mean definitely you have to. It's a quintessential one that you
Sure.
have to have.
That's it for this episode. I'm Jack. This is DB.
Yo, Joe, we did it.
JAK in the Box.
Be sure to subscribe and binge watch all of our episodes. Thanks for tuning in to JAK in the Box.